We'll start with a small prayer. Gently close your eyes. Keep your head, neck back erect. Collapse your shoulders. Make sure that you're breathing thoroughly. Long, deep, and definite. Exhale, relax yourself completely. Breathe in again. Breathe out and let go. Breathe in again. Staying completely in that spiritual being, your own self. Chant Omkar with me thrice. Om. Just listen to the Dhyana shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitambritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini Ambat Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavat Gite Bhavadveshini. Simple palming. Rub your both palms, generate heat. Apply it onto your eyes, cheeks, front and back of your neck. And with a few blinks, open your eyes. A small recap of what we did earlier. So we have finished second chapter for first 7 shlokas. So Arjuna is completely devastated, knows not what to do in this particular situation where he had to kill his own kith and kin. And he is put to a situation where he finds the act of waging war against killing people is an unworthy act, and it is better to leave the warfare. It is better to just turn back and move away. A sort of escapism, what he wanted. But Krishna clearly had different idea. He is yet to speak. He hasn't spoken a bit even now. He was waiting for this particular statement that has to come from Arjuna, and it came aptly. That's because the spiritual state that he has held on to. The spiritual state, what I'm referring to is the state of complete detachment. Unless until this fertile soil of vairagya, this fertile soil of detachment happens, there are no seeds of Atma Vidya germinating. It is not possible at all. And this vairagya had kicked in. And hence he could say, look, I don't want the kingdom. Even the kingdom if it is going to be ruling the entire Indian subcontinent. I'm not ready to take up this. There is an act of detachment. And then again, the most important detachment. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think, whether I'm thinking right or not. You give the Shreya to me, the right aspect of doing right. And even if it is unpleasant and bitter to me, even if it is sounding unpleasant, even if I am thinking this is bitter, still if it is right, please show me that right path, even if it is unpleasant. But that's an act of putting down the weapon. That's an act of surrendering oneself. Sorry. That's an act of surrendering oneself to the Lord. So when you surrender the action of doership. I do. It is me who does. It is me who did this, but the acknowledgement of which is not being, derived. All these troubles fail to appear, fail to occur when you are totally surrendered to the actions of Lord. Let the actions of Lord take over and your actions decline. So that is the state where Arjuna is, and now we are on 2.8. Nahi prapashyami mamanupadyat. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat. Yatshokamishoषणमिन्द्रियाणाम्. Yatshokamishoषणमिन्द्रियाणाम्. Avapya bhumau asapatnamriddham. Avapya bhumau asapatnamriddham. Rajyam suranamapi chadipatyam. Rajyam suranamapi chadipatyam. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat. Even if I have to obtain the emperorship of the devatas, the deities, up there in some heavenly abode, I am not ready to take up this lordship. Yes, shoka mushoshanam indriyanam. You don't see how am I parched. When you come down to Gwalior, you will understand how to enjoy the summers. It is near to 50 degrees here. So when you roam around, and then when you come back home, the first thing all the people of northern parts of India that offers is the glass of water. And that glass of water is not just glass of water. It's the elixir itself. So when you drink that, it quenches the thirst. So Arjuna is also feeling the same parchedness of the senses. His eyes are parched, his throat is parched, his ears are parched, his intellect is parched. Every sense is being parched with that sorrow, with that dukkha. Now, we feel depression is a state where we should be taking it easy, but it is not so. It pulls the person down, and he is definitely derivating, putting into words how his state is. So he is saying, my sorrow is so big, like a fire. It had parched all my senses. It had made my senses go parched. So please first fill this senses with that glass of water. Let my grief be removed. First do this, and then only I can do anything. I can live. Because the state of despondency is something very, very severe. Again, it should not be taken wrongly that it is a normal, desperate situation that we people are into. Even a small young girl of nowadays, of these times, used to say, I am so depressed. My teachers are giving so much work and overload. I'm overloaded. I am depressed. These words are used very, very commonly and multiple times, but it is not that severe. But this state of despondency is severe because he's not exaggerating, he's narrating what is happening. And this despondency is not a trivial affair. If it was trivial, he wouldn't have gone up to the state that I am surrendering myself. I don't know what to do. You tell me. This will never happen. Because we think we are always matured. We're always strong. We know how to take care of. We know how to manage. We will eventually end up with one solution. I can do this like this. No, this is how our intellect will always offer the advice. But surrender to Almighty will not happen unless until you are put into that spiritual despondency. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, in the spiritual tree, fruit comes first and flower comes next. The fruit of being detached comes first. If this vairagya, if the state of detachment does not come, then Atma Vidya will not blossom. Atma Vidya, spiritual emancipation or self-recognition, self-realization. What is vairagya? What is detachment? Like we were talking a few minutes ago, I'll take Nadia's conversation in this thing. Sometimes we think that physical detachment can lead to emotional distancing. Yes, it does many a time. But are we completely detached? Is this spiritual dispassion? No. Remember the difference between distancing oneself out of hatred, distancing oneself out of love. These two are different things. When you hate something, when you are feeling uncomfortable, when you are not ready to be there, then you move away. It can be a situation, it can be a person, it can be a place, anything for that matter. But vairagya out of love happens. See, this vairagya here in Arjuna is again out of love. He is loving his grandfather and kith and kin so much, and hence he feels this state of dispassion. Adi Shankaracharya says it's iha amutrartha phala bhoga viragaha vairagyaha. In Tattva Bodha, it's severe spiritual dispassion. Is spiritual dispassion to the core that he explains. Iha amutrartha phala bhoga viragaha. Whatever fruit that you can derive here and hereafter, both has to be renounced. That is vairagya. Oh my God, that would be worthless living. I live life because I should be provided this. If I am not provided with those, then I'll be unhappy. Okay. Then achieve all those. Still, are you happy? No. Which means acquiring things, achieving positions, whatever targets that we have kept in our mind, in our lives to accomplish, you're not giving the happiness. Because even after accomplishment, we still find out the degree. Oh my God, no. I was expecting this degree. This so happens. Hence, the true key of being happy, the true key for being peaceful is to distance yourself away from this trivial things. Which means you should not be doing your activities. Which means you should not be doing your work. No. You do your work because you have to work. You don't do your work because after work, you get this fruit, and with that fruit, you enjoying fruit, you get that success, you get this happiness, you get that dopamine in your head. No. Patanjali also defines the state of Vairagya in a different manner. But that is more appropriate for a layman. What does he say? Drishta, drishtanushavika vishaya vitrishnasya vashikara sanya vairagyam. He says, drishta anushavika vishaya vitrishna vashikara sanya. Vairagya is a state of mastery, he says. It's a mental mastery. It is not stupidity. It is not escapism. It is not going away. It is a mental mastery. What kind of mental mastery? Of all those objects you have seen, you have heard of, which can attract you, but you have mastered all those objects because you don't need them to make you happy or peaceful. You don't need them in place of objects, in place of persons, in place of situations to make you feel peaceful. That is a mental mastery. Now, that vairagya has happened in his mind. His mind has become fertile. Now, Krishna is ready to speak because he has now evolved. He does not want the sovereignty of Deva's kingdom, of the kingdom of deities. He does not want anything else good. He just wants what is shreyas to him. Likingly good, seemingly displeasant, unpleasant. That's what he wants. So he is in the perfect state of detachment. Now, 2.9. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya Uvacha. Eva Muktva Rishikesham. Eva Muktva Rishikesham. Gudakeshaf Parantapaha. Gudakeshaf Parantapaha. न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूणीं बभूवः sorry उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः. Sanjaya is this minister who has this divine vision, staying in Hastinapura, staying in the palace. He is reiterating all the incidents that are happening in the warfare of Kurukshetra, where the Bhagavad Gita is happening. And he is saying that king, the blind king, what is happening. So he is reiterating what is happening to Arjuna, to this blind king. Eva muktva rishikesham gudakeshaha parantapaha. Like this, here with Gudakesha. Gudakesha is the name given to Arjuna because he has won over sleep. He can sleep at any point of time. He's a great warrior. I've already mentioned this thousands of times. He's a great warrior who had won over. See, if the war is taking place for 17 days continuously, with this mental switch that he has in his in his mastery, he will switch on all 17 days. He can live without sleeping. He can be alert. He can be wakeful. That's how Arjuna is. Yes, Nadia. So even the Zen artists, the Buddhists, they made a sculpture because Arjuna is such a great warrior. They made this sculpture which has the shape of Arjuna's body and the face of Buddha. It is not only that you have to kill all the enemies outside, you should also kill your enemies inside. Both the Buddha and Arjuna together. It's a beautiful sculpture. Anyways, so Gudakesha means the person who had won over sleep, which means Arjuna. Rishikesha is another name of Lord Krishna, Lord Narayana. Rishikesha means one whose senses are totally controlled. All the senses have been mastered. No, wasn't Arjuna right in asking to quench his thirst from the Rishikesh? Because all of his senses are past, he is rightly asking, okay, you the sense master, the master of all the senses, you quench my grief, you quench my thirst. So the words are also beautifully placed, I should say. Why here the word, okay, let me just finish the entire meaning and then I'll let you know. Na yotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babuvaha. I'm not going to wage war. That's the last word spoken by Arjuna. And tushnim babuvaha, he became quiet. He became quiet. He sat down quiet, waiting for the master's wisdom. Uktva tushnim babuvaha. Now, why the words Gudakesha? Why? Vedvyasa could have written Arjuna here, the word Arjuna, or Partha. Partha also means Arjuna, Pritha's son, Kunti's, or Kaunteya. Why Gudakesha? Why only in this shloka he is saying Gudakesha? The first time this word is coming, one who has mastered his sleep. What do we do when we are sorrowful? We go to sleep. And then we think the next day everything will be okay. Yeah, that's an act of foolishness. Sleep or temporarily escaping from the situation cannot be the solution for removing the grief, for removing any kind of sorrow, even if the sorrow is trivial. Now here, this is spiritual sorrow that he is struck with. Even the person who had won over the sleep could not manage the spiritual sorrow. That's the amount of despondency, that the intensity of depression that he had struck with. Hence the word Gudakesha. We used to say, sleep over the problem, then you will get the solution. which means delve out the problem, which you will get solution. No. Let it steep for a while, you will get the solution. Which means you just make that settle away, do nothing, and then you will get the solution. No. While you sleep, still the mind is working. Hence you get dreams. When you make the problem sleep, it is not that you are away from the problem. When you make the problem settle down, which means you are constantly mentally engaging over the problem. The hankering of the objects are continuously happening. Hence, it cannot be the right solution. Hence, here, Gudakesha, the word Gudakesha is being written by Vedavyasa very wisely, that sleep cannot be problem. Sleep cannot be solution for the problem. Making things to sleep cannot be the solution. You have to really address them in the right possible manner. Rishikesha. What is the right possible manner? Rishikesha is the right possible manner. Rishikesha, a person who has mastered all the senses. What does that mean? Mastering over senses means when I am into some work, when I'm engaging myself in some piece of work, my eyes should not distract. My nose should not smell anything delicacious or delectable outside. My ear should not listen to any noise outside. Isn't that meditation? When all your senses integrate and employ in one piece of work along with your mind, that itself is a state of meditation. Krishna does every activity, starting from brushing his teeth, to going to sleep. Every activity with all these senses integrated. Isn't that crucial? Isn't that important? To know how he does that. That's exactly what Arjuna wants. Na yotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babuvaha. I'm not going to wage war. This is for certain, but you tell me what you have to do. I cannot wage war because I have lost the capabilities. My mind is not strong. It's at the edge of weakness. If you topple me, I'll be down the cliff. That's what he is. And goes to complete state of silence. What is complete state of silence? Is he has become quiet, yet not silent completely. Why? A grieving mind will not be silent. This is the state of tamas, what we call in yoga. You will find certain people or certain times, our own self, in certain times, that we are quiet. That quietness essentially means the mind, the super racing mind. The mind is supersedingly, exceedingly working on that particular matter, but physically we are quiet. This is not the right state. When you have to have a real solution, you have to face the problem. What is the problem here? What is the problem? Forget Bhagavad Gita. What is my problem? My problem is people around me. My problem is situation that I am in. My problem is, even if I have a big bungalow, a good car to drive, I'm still not feeling okay or satisfied that I'm capable of doing things. This is my problem, right? Maybe some of, or a part. All these problems occur with constant identification of body, name, and form. Constantly, I am identifying myself as Lalitha, as a woman, as a teacher, as a South Indian. Constantly, this is happening inside the head. When something opposingly, supposedly, if I am told you're not a good teacher, my God, this strikes my heart. You're not a good mother. This kills my heart. Why? Why did the problem arise? Not because A or X told me that you're not a good teacher, you're not a good mother, but because before even A coming up in my life, before even X showing up in my life, I have made this beautiful big dustbin inside me which constantly makes me understand that I am Lalitha, I am a good teacher, I am a good mother, I am this, I am that. When something opposite happens, then I cannot take it. Then I'm in trouble. Then I feel sorrowful. Then the situations become worse. Then people around me becomes worse. There's this beautiful story of Rama, where the characteristics of Rama has been told by Valmiki Ramayana, by Rishi Valmiki in Valmiki Ramayana, where he says, Katanchidupakarena kritena yekena tushyati nasmarati apakaranam shatamapi atmavattaya. Rama is a person who remembers a very tiny little help. Who can help a prince? Who can help? No, nobody can. Prince himself is equipped with so much things. Perhaps in some ways where he was going for hunting or something, he might have asked, where is this road leading to? That particular shopkeeper would have told, this road is leading to this place. He will keep that help in his mind, in his brain all the time, and help and call out that shopkeeper and then give him the reward. And what about the other persons who didn't help him, who pulled him down, who criticizes him? This happens in a kingdom, right? Nasmarati apakaranam. Anyone who pulls him down, who shows a red flag, Nasmarati, he does not remember them. How is this possible? I remember all those who had insulted me. Perhaps even with the previous life, I remember. That's why when I see some person, I feel like I should be away from this person. He is not of my frequency. Yeah. I have that karmic remembrance of whoever helped me, whoever didn't, or whoever is supposedly opposite to me. How is this Rama, how is this Lord Rama able to forget things? Atmavattaya. Valmiki says, he is always embodied in his true self. He is always identifying himself in his true self, not in his name body form. Not in his name body form. And hence, when Bharata comes, when his brother comes, he's been chucked out by his own mother. For 14 years, he was into exile. And then the same mother's son, Bharata, comes running. As soon as he saw Rama is missing, his father is dead because Rama has left the kingdom. Every kind of mishap that has to happen in a kingdom, all have happened, and he wasn't there, Bharata wasn't there. So he comes running to his elder brother Rama. Come back and take the kingdom back. My mother, she is stupid. You have taken her words so seriously. All those things. Long argument. Beautiful argument. There is another Gita between Rama and Bharata. That's a beautiful conversation. There again, Rama says the same thing. He teaches the same thing. How can he teach this perfect? Because he is that. He always find his sustenance, find his existence in his true self, not in his name body form. So he says, Atmanam manushochattvam nanushochitu marhasi. Why do you have to grieve for me? Why do you have to think about me? You think about yourself. You have to ponder about your true self. Why are you grieving about others? Why are you showing tantrums for all the changes that had happened? It has to happen. It had happened. That's it. Now I am into the forestry life. I have taken up this. I'll be like this. Why do you have to grieve for me? He's crying, lamenting, weeping. Every drama is happening. And then that's the answer he's giving. Don't grieve for anything else. I remember my mother, when I was crying that I couldn't get good marks in mathematics, came home. My mother, I remember her words. The words are in Tamil. I just want to reiterate and then I'll tell you what's the real meaning. She said, Kannanukkaga kannir vadi. If you have to shed tears, why do you have to shed tears for your own self? Shed tears for Almighty. All the grace that He had showered upon you. Next morning you're going to wake up. You don't know. But still, you have waken up. All your organs are working properly. Isn't that grace? Isn't that true blessing? Have we ever shed tears for that blessings? No. We will shed tears only for our own self. This shouldn't have happened to me. I was so good. I was so noble. I was doing this for the greater good. All this action orientation, I was the doer, I am this. All this sorrow is because of this. Atmanam manushochhatvam. Na anushochitumarhasi. You don't have to shed tears for yourself. You don't have to grieve for anything for about yourself. Everything is taken care of. Everything is handled. Will the world end? No. Even if you end, the world will continue. Yeah. But still we shed tears. But still we grieve. So, same Rama is Krishna in the next yuga, you know. It is just a reincarnation. Krishna is hence that master of all senses. He knows how to integrate the senses. Why? Atmavattaya. He knows how to retain himself in self and not swerved away. Swerved away because of the mental distractions, because of the sensual distractions. He is never staggered up. He stays stably in that peaceful self. I'll take one more shloka and then. Aurelia, is it not time for you to leave? Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Prahasanniva Bharata. Tamuvacha Rishikeshaha Prahasanniva Bharata. Senayorubhayor madhye Vishidantamidam vachaha. Senayorubhayor madhye Vishidantamidam vachaha. It is Sanjaya. It is Sanjaya's words. O Bharata, O Dhritarashtra, positioned between these two armies, this particular charm of the greatest charm, Lord Krishna, and this particular valorous of the greatest, powerful, fierceful Arjuna is standing there, and he is reiterating the scene. Arjuna, how despondent he is, how sitting on the chariot with his hand on his head he is, and how gracefully bright like a sun Krishna is standing there, prahasanniva, as if smiling. That's an important word. Prahasanniva. There was a smile on Krishna's face. How can one smile when another person is crying? That too when his own friend, that too when his own brother is crying. That too he is desperate. I have to take you back a bit in Mahabharata, where this foolish king, prince of this blind, the son of blind king, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, wanted to imprison Lord Krishna. Krishna went for peace message. And please, war is not the solution. Let's stop. You give just 5 villages to these brothers and you take the whole kingdom. Okay? It's a fair deal. You have to work with this. But Duryodhana was not ready. He said, imprison this young lad. He is just a Yadava. He is just a cowherd. How can he come and talk to us like this? That's it. After that statement, all of the courtiers, all of the artisans of the court could hear one laughter of Krishna. The laughter resounded like death to them. And just listening to that laughter, everybody were energyless. Everybody sat with no energy. They couldn't, no army men, no soldiers went to grab him, went to grab Lord Krishna. That's how fierceful, powerful his laughter was. Meaning which, the entire reason of this warfare is me. The entire reason of this despondent Arjuna is the state of despondency that occurred in Arjuna's mind is because of Lord Krishna. And how dharma, how righteousness has to prevail after warfare, after this great warfare. The reason is Krishna himself. What resounded as death to Kauravas was a smile to Arjuna. With this smile, he is giving a beautiful message that you don't have to fear, you don't have to worry, because I am handling things. I am taking care of things. It is good that you have surrendered doership. And this happens only with grace. Okay? We think if nice things occur in our life, if good things happen, or we win some lottery, then we are all blessed. It is not so. When the sorrow could lead you to self-recognition, that sorrow is grace. That grief is grace. It is Krishna who installed such grief in Arjuna. And from now on, it will be Krishna who will take out Arjuna from such grief and make him ever peaceful, and charmingly, interestingly, makes him more dutiful. We'll finish until now. The next Sunday, I'll not be available. I'm in Sri Ram Mandir, Ayodhya. Next to next, we will again meet.